Hello, how are you? Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah. I hope everybody comes on in. I'm live. I just wanted to say, Hershey was telling me that I said 7. I thought I said like 7 or 8. 8 works out pretty good for me. I don't know if that's too late for everybody else. If that is, you guys please let me know. Oh, let me get my comments opened up. Yeah, I hope people are seeing this. Hey, Thomas, how are you? Look, if I start trying to type, it's saying I'm live in 1, or is it saying I'm live at 1? So at 1 minute. What is going on? No, I think it means I'm live. Can everybody see me? Hello, Thomas. Hey, TT. You're saying, hey, TT. Hershey, can you see me? Can you hear me okay? Hello, Thomas. I don't know. How weird is that? I don't get it. I don't understand. Does everything seem okay to you guys? You see me okay? Does everything look all right? Okay, good. You see me. How's everybody doing tonight? Hershey, what'd you think about Kelly's little program she was doing? I so enjoyed that. Reminded me of me and you sitting here throwing cards. She gets me real relaxed. Kelly does. You did. Yay, Thomas. How's it looking? You got all your clothes organized and put away now? I figure that's what you were doing yesterday. I didn't hardly see you at all yesterday. I don't think I seen you at all yesterday on anything. Yeah, it was nice. It was like me and you sitting around throwing cards. And Kelly's a pretty good teacher. She's, well, she wasn't trying to teach. She was trying to give pointers, and she makes me relaxed. Oh, got all your t-shirts from the closet and folded them? Yeah, that makes lots more room in your closet if you can get your t-shirts out of there. Then you're like, oh, I didn't realize I had so much space. Now I need to buy some more clothes. Bug bombs and went swimming. Oh, sounds fun, Thomas. Sounds so much fun. Sounds so much fun. Hey, Thomas, have you ever seen this deck? The Fifth Spirits Tarot? Oh, let me get it right. Sorry. Fifth Spirits Tarot, it's called. I'm going to do a walkthrough on the channel for that. I'm so impressed with this little deck. It's got a nice little book. It's got nice little cards. They're pretty kind of a thicker card, but they're nice matte. I love the matte finish. I'm so about the matte. Got the nice matte finish. I'm going to do a walkthrough for them on my... I was thinking how easy these would be to cut down too, Thomas, to put in your thing. because they have that border around them. This is what irritates me about these cards. They put too much border on this stuff. But I was thinking you could cut this down easily enough. And the backs are the hands both ways, you know. So you could cut down a good amount without ruining your design. I have to think about those. It's been an interesting deck, though. I looked through it, trying to get an idea. Hello, Carol. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming. So we're going to just jab on here and talk about whatever we want. I wanted to talk about those cards. I might just do that. The Fifth Spirit Tarot. This is a fairly new deck I got in. I'm loving it so far. I just walked through it for myself to kind of look it over. It's made by Charlie Claire Burgess. And it's by Hay House. I got this one from Hay House. It's a very inclusive deck. So sorry about that, guys. This is a very inclusive deck. I know on the bottom it's cute as can be. Look, the bottom says this. It says, a queer inclusive deck for a world beyond binaries. Which I thought was pretty cool. Ooh, no. I've got these divided up into suits already, so that I'm not making a big mess. Let me just lay them out. I wasn't going to do this, that we're flying by the seat of our pants. How are you, Carol? I'm going to show off this new little deck I got here. You got some favorite decks, Carol? This is the Fool. Can you guys see that okay? We have the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, well, you can see them, can't you? The Empress, the Emperor. It would help if I wasn't so nervous. I might get this right. The Hierophant, the Lovers. Just be patient with me, guys. I'm learning. I shifted my table around because I noticed on the last one, I was turning around a lot. I set up my card thing on this side of me, so it's easier for me to grab a deck if I'm playing with cards, which I want to do sometimes. Anybody else in here want to play with some cards tonight? Because I do. The Chariot. Let me pay attention to what I'm doing. Strength. Can you guys see them okay? The Hermit. I love this Hermit. He's hilarious. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. I love this Lady Justice. She seems like a badass. Somebody I don't want to mess with. The Hanged One. This Hanged One is something else. The Death. The Temperance. You know, I was just reading recently on some, I don't know, some tarot page that Temperance, the angel in Temperance, is none other than Megatron. I never knew that. Thomas started me on that journey. The Devil. Thomas, if anybody doesn't know Thomas, please go to his channel, Tarot Your Way. We recently did a little thing where he was talking about symbolism, and that's why I say Thomas got me started on that. I wanted to know who the angel represented because there's not a lot of angels on the tarot cards. Then we have the tower. This tower I love. And we have the star. Then we have the moon. I love this moon card. So love that moon card. The sun. The judgment. And the world. That's just a sneak peek. I'm going to do a better walkthrough on the thing. I just wanted to see why I like these. They're kind of plain. They're nice, soft, matte cardstock, and they're kind of a thicker cardstock. So I'm not sure how they're going to shuffle. I didn't want to shuffle them, mess them up. So I'll be letting you know that. I'll be filling you in on how those are going. But they are beautiful so far, and I thought they'd be nice to cut down. I cut down a lot of my decks just because I have a hard time with arthritis. So I have to use the smaller decks sometimes because the big ones feel like they're ripping my fingers out of joints when I try to shuffle them. I have quite a few that I've altered. Like this one. This one here I altered. Anybody that knows this deck here knows it's really big. I don't know what I did with the box. But it has a huge box. I mean it's a huge deck. Like, I would say at least this size. But it's a heavy cardstock. So when I would try and work with a man, they would tear my hands up. And then the art is no bigger than this. Let me get that in front of me so you can see. The art was this, and then it had this big border around it. It's got a little bit of keyword down here, and it's got a main word up here. Like this one says, embarking on an adventure. And then the keywords are, I savor the wonders of the world. So I started cutting on it. I cut all the borders off of it. And some of the keyword, there was more keyword than that. But this, I just left enough that gave you a sense of what the card's about. I freed the art is what I kept telling her. I just need to free the art because the art's what would take me on adventures. On the world, there are only 2 infinity symbols at the tip and bottom of the wreaths. On the world card, I have to look at that, Thomas. In the Rider-Waite, are you talking about any of them should have the infinity? Because I don't even see an infinity on this one's. That's weird. African Goddess Rising Oracle. How you like that, Carol? You like that deck? I so love oracles. I do have a whole lot of oracle decks. I'll be the first to admit it. Hershey is an oracle. I think she's more into tarot now, but when she first started out, she was reading a lot of oracles. She loves Colette Baron Reid. Anything Colette Baron Reid, she had every single Colette Baron Reid deck. This is a cute little deck, and it has nice bright artwork. Are these cards coming across okay, guys? I can't tell. Yes. Hershey's still under. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get this where you can see the art. I just love these because they're some more simplified. And I like it now that I cut them down littler because the artwork's more prominent. These are beautiful little cards. The only thing I don't like is they have that glossy kind of finish on them. It's not so bad now that they're little, but when they were bigger, it was driving me crazy. It was kind of like Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle. I love that little deck. Well, I say little because I cut mine down. You know, it's way bigger than this. This is the actual size of them. This is the actual size they come in. This gives you an idea how much I cut away on this deck. That gives you an idea of how much I cut the deck away. Nothing like the original size. That's how much I had to cut away off this deck. And it worked out perfectly because it just frames the art beautifully. I didn't like the big white ugly borders. It was distracting to me. This one I cut down and I edged my side. I edged my side to match the back so that it's complete. I hate it when the cards are incomplete. But this one has beautiful artwork too. Most people have seen this deck a million times, but this deck just gives me such good messages. I just hate it. Sorry. I hate the size of the card. I hated the size of the cards, and I hated the big white border. I hated the size of the cards, and I hated the big white border, and then that glossy finish. But now that they're smaller, they're not so hard to hold on to. I left our little word down here. It's just like a little keyword for me, so works out good for me. So anybody out there interested in doing those, I say go for it. Me and Hershey mod our decks all the time. We make them our own to where they're comfortable for us. And that's part of the key, isn't it? Making decks comfortable for us so that we're comfortable with them in our hands and comfortable reading with them and all that good stuff. Anybody else come in? Your deck that you like, Carol, is it new to you or is it one of your old ones? Is it older deck or have you had it a while or is it brand new? I know. I feel like that's kind of a bonding ritual when you make decks your own and when you color them or crop them off or, make them your own. It creates a bond with them. It really does. I believe that. I know it did mine. I wasn't that great with the big Colette Baron Reed. I had been gifted a little Wisdom of the Oracle deck. This one right here. I had been gifted that, and I played with this thing for ages because it's a little thin cardstock. It's easy for me to shuffle, and it has a border on it also, which I didn't like. This is how my big ones look too. I was thinking maybe the big ones wouldn't have a border on it, but they sure do. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it brasses me off. I'll fall in love with the deck. Like my nieces and them get me these a lot. My great nieces, my nieces and nephews, my great nephews. And they're poor, so I'm not ever going to get rid of these decks. They mean the world to me that my babies would think about buying, well, my one nephews call me Grandma TT, so they call me Grandma. Grandma ain't Debbie. Anyway, I bonded with this deck. But then when I got the big one, I was like, I hate that deck. I hated the white borders were distracting for me in that. And then me and Hershey got the bright idea we was watching, who was we watching? Lisa Hershey, or was we watching Boho Tarot? I think it was Boho we was watching about making your deck your own. And I thought, that might work for me. So I got the big deck out and I tried it. And it worked perfectly. So Deborah, look at the world live. Look at the word live. In the upper left corner next to it is a little I. Next to that, there is a number, and the number is how many is in chat. 4. Yeah, it says 4. That's what you were talking about the other night, but I didn't get it as a guest on your channel. I don't see that. Yeah. You had them 4 months, Carol? I know. It's when you find a deck that's yours. It's just yours. This one here is the EarthCraft Oracle. Let me get the book. I know I need to be in front of it. EarthCraft Oracle, it's called. I love this deck. And I've loved it since the minute I picked it up. I fell in love with it. It's crazy colorful. It's so colorful. And it's kind of crazy sounding when you just open it up and you're looking at it. It's kind of a nature-based deck, which works for me because I'm a Virgo. Like it's got the mountain. It's got warrior woman, prayer, sacrifice. And I mean, you can read them just kind of a little bit off of what this does. Prophecy, dreams. But the book is so wonderful. Like going into detail. And it also gives you like a little practice. Like the deck. Let me find the fern deck. Hang on 1 second. There it is. So the fern card just says fern on it. You see the card. But when you go into fern, it gives you the little statement of what the card means. And then it also gives you ground and light practice. It tells you how to ground yourself and all of that. So I like it. It gives you an explanation, but it also gives you a little ritual or a little practice that you can do to work on. I use these a lot for myself. What does the spirit need me to know about myself today to do better, to make myself grow? Gives me really good reads for that. I'm using it right now. I'm using it right now on Hershey's channel for 7-day challenge for spiritual growth for myself. And it's going really well. And the deck don't hold back. If you got issues you need to work on, it lets you know. It calls you out right up front. There's a silent watcher or someone on TV who hasn't chatted. Well, that's okay. I love silent watchers. Just sit back and relax and watch on TV. I might make a fool of myself. I might not. Who knows? I was into Lisa's chat today and had such a blast with her little, she was just going over the tarot and how you put the stories together. Turned into a little bit more than that, but we had such fun in there. And she was doing like some practice draws. Practice draws where she would ask everybody, what does that mean to you? Because I know, when you first start out, if you're practicing along somebody and you draw something and what you're seeing for the cards isn't what they're saying, you think you're doing it wrong. And nah, I say call it like you see it, and everybody's right. It's, what you're meant to see. Lisa. Not Lisa. I'm sorry. Kelly. It was Kelly today. I said Lisa, didn't I? I apologize. That was Kelly at Dozen Cats Wellness Tarot. Yes. We had such a good time in there. We absolutely did. Does anybody want to get a reading tonight? Does anybody want to throw some cards with me? There's everybody else tired. Most people are day people, not me. I'm going to do one for the day, a general read for the day. Tell us how the day went for everybody. Tell us what we learned today. Ooh. Dang. Okay, jumpity jump. Jump, Judy, jump, as Hershey says. I got the Hierophant and Temperance. So we learned a lot today. We got exposed to some good knowledge today. That's what I'm taking this as, the Hierophant and the Temperance. We got exposed to knowledge today. I got exposed to more than just knowledge about cards. I got exposed to knowledge about reading and relaxing and just not being so serious about it all. I tend to get in my head, and then that kind of messes stuff up. Ooh. This is one of my favorite little decks. It's a Marchetti deck. It's in a little box set for learning the tarot. And I ordered these off, I believe Llewellyn was where I ordered these. Let me see. Wasn't that a Llewellyn? This little set. Anybody interested? This, I swear by this little set. I give these out as gifts. And they have a wonderful book. The book is fantabulous. The book is huge, and it goes into a lot of detail about the cards and what they mean and what they stand for, and the signs associated with the cards and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that later. But okay, how is my energy looking for the next week? Hershey wants Hershey wants to know how her energy is looking for the next week. This is the Gemini girls. Gemini wants to read. Gemini wants to read. Gemini wants to read, girls. How's her energy for next week? How's Hershey's energy for next week? Ooh. Jump, Judy, jump. If I'm bending down, guys, I can't help it. They're jumping to you, jumping all over. Okay, normally for Hershey, I have 5 million. I asked the cards to be nice to me, and we're trying to keep it short, so I did 3 cards. I got the Magician, the Two of Pentacles. Trying to get that where you guys can see it. And the Wheel of Fortune. So Hershey, all I can say is you're going to pull it off for next week. I feel like you're going to pull it off for next week. But also they're telling me, keep your rest day. Don't be playing on your rest day. Take your rest day for you. Yes. And also rest. Not just take it for you, but really rest. All right. Hi, Fluck. Thanks for coming in. All right, Thomas, you want an energy read like Hershey? What's your read you want? You said I could do a read for you, but you didn't say what you wanted. You want an energy read? Okay. Tell me. Uh-oh. What's going on? Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally hit the camera button. I apologize. Energy read for next week. Okay. Thomas would like to have an energy read for next week. Come on. Thomas wants to energy read for next week. Thomas would like to have an energy read for next week. Ooh, you want that one? Okay. I got it. Okay, jumping Judy jump. Okay, I'm limiting these to 3. So I got for you, Thomas, the 9 of Swords, which is the rest. Take time for yourself and rest a little. The Sun. Well, we all know what the Sun means. You're full of energy. And the 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm getting off this, Thomas, is maybe the first part of the week you're going to need to rest a little more than, I'd say by Wednesday you're going to be, by Wednesday I feel like you're going to have lots of energy. Just keep it on the steady. Don't burn it too hard. You're going to be okay with that. I feel like if you hit that energy mark and you keep it at a nice pace and not burn so hard in the end of the week, that you'll be okay. But I think you kind of do that anyway, Thomas. You like do a little, rest a little, do a little, rest a little. So I think you're going to be doing good next week. Your energy seems fine to me. Fluck, I'm just playing. I'm doing a little energy reads, or I can read on something if you have anything in particular you want. Anybody else in here would like a read, please? Just put it on the screen. Oh my God, what is up with the camera? I didn't even touch it then. What is going on with the camera? My camera keeps shutting off and I don't understand why. I didn't even touch the screen. I thought I accidentally touched it a minute ago, but it just went off and I wasn't. If that is you, Juliet, you better stop. That's not funny. Sorry, guys. It's not funny. Sit down over there. I'm sorry. Juliet's acting up today. I'm sorry, Carol. I didn't see your request, but I'm going to go back right now. One of my little joy child is acting up. I had to get her. She keeps shutting my camera off. Okay, let me see. Okay, Carol, what kind of reading you want? You just want an energy read like them two got? Yep. Juliet's acting a fool. I told you, since Violet left, she has been on one. Carol, what you want an energy read, hon, or you got a specific question? Just energy read, okay, for next week. Okay, can we do an energy read for Carol for next week? Energy read for Carol for next week. Ooh. Ooh, looks like you got some heavy burdens at the beginning of the week, girl. Got lots of work scheduled for the beginning of the week. Going to be wearing you out a little bit. And it's, of course, this is what I got. Let me tell you what I got first. 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. 8 of Wands. And 2 of Wands. This is a wand-filled week. You have lots of work going on. Lots of fiery energy going on. So this is how I see these cards. Everybody needs their shit right now. Everybody needs their shit right now, and their shit is way more important than anybody else's, so they're stressing you to complete their stuff before anybody else's. And you have to make the decisions about what work needs to come first. And I feel like it's going to be a stressful week at the beginning of the week. I think after Wednesday, it'll settle down, and you're going to have that I can't wait for Friday card there. I think your Friday is going to be okay, but they're going to work you hard this week. Sorry, girl. Did that resonate for you, Carol? I feel like you have a lot of people that you help on the daily. And it's not usually too bad, but some days it gets, and this is going to be one of those weeks next week here. I keep hearing the word quarterlies. So I don't know if you do things where you put out quarterly reports and everybody leaves theirs go till the last minute. Sorry about that, Carol. You got quarterly reports due next week, because that's what I keep hearing. Quarterlies. I feel like your job appreciates you quite a bit, though, Carol. Like everybody depends on you and looks up to you because they feel like their stuff would never get done if you weren't there. End of the week and next week. Okay, just I'm going to just do a energy read for Fleck toward the end of the week. How's Fleck's each week going to go? How's Fleck's? Their cards are flying. Sorry, it's important. It's important. They're flying. Oh, wow. Okay. 10 of Swords upside down. 10 of Swords upside down. That's what I've got so far. Okay. I'm looking shocked because that doesn't happen to me often. 10 of Swords upside down. Okay. Your mom drops quarters for you. That's wonderful, Carol. Okay, Fluck. And for the end of the week, how's the energy for the end of the week? Okay. Okay. So I got the 10 of Pentacles, or no, 10 of Swords upside down. I got the King of Cups. And I got the 4 of Pentacles. So I'm taking this, that's like the end of that's something new. Oh my. What is going on? I keep feeling like you're going to have a confrontational energy come around you, and you're going to be smart and, stay in your calm, stay in your control, and feel like they're trying to be in your business more than they should be, and maybe asking about your money and your bills or what have you. Stay in your peace, just politely tell them, I don't discuss that with anybody else. That's my business. And walk on. This could be a loved one that's just being curious and worrying about you, but still sometimes it's best if you just politely just say, I don't need any help with that, but if I did, I'll put it by you. Yeah, I know it's something you can take. I know it's something you can take. That's for the end, toward the end of this week here. So maybe tomorrow or Friday. Now we're going to go for next week, Fleck. Flex energy for next week. Flex energy for next week. Flex energy for next week. Ooh, already. Energy for next this week. All right. So I keep feeling like that's what I got. I'm sorry. Let me do this. This is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords. Being in your head and tying yourself up about something. Then we have the Moon. Upside down. Hershey. I have had 2 upside downs with her. She must be a Gemini or something. Then I have 2 of Pentacles. It's very rare I get reversed reads. Mostly with Hershey. Not that I do that many reads, guys. I'm just starting out practicing. So, what I'm seeing here is you're in your head about an idea. And it's an idea that you think is divine. But I don't think it is. It's not what Spirit is leading you to do. So just calm yourself down and meditate on it some more. Meditate on it some more. Think about it some more. I'm seeing a rainbow here. This is what's catching me. And I read intuitively a lot. So I know this is 2 of Pentacles, but I'm seeing this rainbow. This is what's being drawn to me. So I feel like just calm yourself down about this idea. Meditate on it some more and, pull a couple cards for yourself about, is this truly what I think it means? Because sometimes we think we're meant to do one thing and we get veered off totally in a different direction. So I think your week's going to be fine, honey. They're telling me to, you need to think about this idea a little more of what you think they're calling you to do. You've been thinking about a move. Ooh, yeah. So they're saying think about it hard. Look at it from all angles. Get every, there's pros and cons to everything. And sometimes moves open us up to new things. And sometimes moves put us in a position where we're away from everything we know, all of our friends. So it can be very lonely and very devastating and very, not good for our psyche. You, Leo, yeah, you're a control freak too. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it might be good for you. It might be bad. I'm getting whatever this idea is that you've got. They're not thinking it's not, Spirit is not leading you for that. It's probably more of a money kind of thing. You think it's better money, but I got that 2 of Pentacles, which could indicate, you think there's a rainbow over there and there's not. So look at the other options. You have plenty of other options. You are a Leo and they are very hard workers. They're, sought after employees, stable. So look around. Okay. Thanks, Fleck, for letting me read you. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to talk about some more cards. Anybody out there? I know somebody said, I think that was Carol said she loved the colors of this deck. It's called EarthCraft Oracle. This is by Juliet Diaz and Lorraine Anderson. And the art is by Danielle Boudou Fortune. I think it's Fortune. That's how it's spelled. Yes, I am telling you, Carol, I love this deck. And it gives me such good messages. When I pull cards on this deck, if I pull cards for anybody, It gives good direct messages. I'm just going to flip it through so you can see a little bit of it. And it's got, it's like regular cardstock. It's, like I said, I got it from the Llewellyn. I think this was from Llewellyn. Oh, no, Hay House. The original one I got from Hay House, and I think I gave that one away, and then I ended up, I think, getting this one off of Amazon, is how I think it went. Because I hadn't played with the first one that I got very often. Like, I hadn't hardly had it, and then I ended up giving it away. And then I ended up reordering it off of Amazon, I'm pretty sure. That's how I did that. But I love this deck. Gives really powerful messages to me. Like the 10-day challenge I'm doing is like, what does spirit need me to work on to further my spiritual growth? What does the ancestors and angels and guides need me to work on to advance my spiritual growth? And I pull 3 cards a day, and then I'm doing that on Hershey's page. It's Hershey the Shadow Reader on Facebook. She has a wonderful, if anybody has not been to her channel, go on over there and check it out. We hang out and do fun stuff, and Hershey is being wonderful, sharing her story, trying to help everybody learn how to deal with their own shadows, to look at their own shadows and to overcome those things, because we all got shadow, whether we want to admit it or not. We all got shadow stuff that we have to deal with, traumas in our life, things that, we're human. There's no human walking this earth that ain't had some kind of trauma. And she tries to show us how to get rid of those things that come with that trauma, because some of those things we can push down, but then they get triggered off by certain things in our life. These cards are gorgeous. If you want this deck, I'd say get it. You'll never be sorry you did. It does have very soft energy, very comforting energy, and even when you get a kick in the pant message, like I get most of the time, it gives me a kick in the pant, like, quit wham and get off your ass and do your work. But not at all, Fleck. I'll slow it down. But it gives me kick in the pants in a loving way. Like you're holding yourself back. Stop doing this, or you need to work on that, or these are really earthy energy is what I get off of this deck. And I'm a Virgo, so I love the earthy maternal. These are really pretty cards. It's a phenomenal deck, and there's lots of things going on in the card, and if you read intuitively like I do, I get triggered by cards that are kind of busy, and I used to think it was color, but it's not just color, because I have another deck that's kind of bland, but it's got a lot of artwork on it. And I read well with it too. I just love these cards. They're comforting to me for some reason. They're beautiful. They have such beautiful artwork on them, I have to say. And they're different. What I love is the difference in the front and the back. Like, by the back of this deck, it's like, oh, it's butterflies in the world and a hand holding the world. And, oh, you think it's going to be a frilly, y'all. And then it's got bold artwork on the other side. It's one of my favorite cards. I'm trying to get it in the right spot for you guys. Just wanted to let Carol see because she was saying she liked it. Carol, I don't think you'd ever be disappointed. This deck was not that expensive. Like I said, I think I got my second copy off Amazon. But, you know, if you check Hay House out in them, I just seen a Hay House thing across my thing. They might be having a sale going. The first one I got like off their 30% sale. And when you get that 30% off, it's, you know, it's pretty good savings. But if you do Amazon, you know, the price ain't bad there either, so. I just love the artwork. This is one of my favorites here. And look, I'm just gonna tell you why I love them so much. This is the mountain. The mountain. I'm gonna go to that in the book, and I'm gonna just read you what it like says from the book. The mountain. Mountains have stood as symbols of achievement, likely since mankind first set eyes on them. Many of the world's greatest spiritual leaders have taken pilgrimage to the mountaintops to gain perspective on their own lives and what they can offer to the world. It can be a lonely, hazardous journey, but there is so much reward in seeing things from a bird's eye view. When you're above looking down, you notice patterns and connections you couldn't have imagined before. Mountain peaks are the vantage of innovators, leaders, and those who are ready to live life to the fullest. The mountain comes to a reading when you are relying too much on your rational mind. You lost sight of the bigger picture by obsessing over tiny details without a higher purpose. These details will become meaningless and get lost in a sea of confusion and doubt. You're in need of a new perspective to remind you of what really matters and to see your situation from a much higher view. Connect with your intuition and ask yourself, what am I reaching for? Ultimately, you are ready to ascend to greater heights and take on new challenges. And then it gives you this is in the book, it gives you a little, let me get closer. It gives you a little challengey like thing to do. It says, mountain pose. Mountain pose on Tasmania is a pose to ground the body and elevate the spirit. From this position, you can see things clearly and receive positive energy. Now, they're talking about a yoga pose, if you're not familiar with it, but they're talking about a yoga pose. And it goes on to tell you how to do that yoga pose to bring more energy into yourself. But that's why I love these cards. Seriously, they just have really good, positive, helpful. Oh, Lisa, I love you. Thanks for coming. Let me finish stepping through these. Is this where I was, or is that? Hang on. Okay, that's the ones I did. Sorry, let me get in the right pile. And I'll finish flipping through these for you guys, so you guys can see. The art is just gorgeous and so much detail. And the book gives such great messages and stuff. Anybody interested in this deck, I say go for it, go for it, go for it. You'll never be disappointed if you don't do anything but use this deck for yourself. You won't regret it, but you'll be like me. You'll use this deck for everything. Like, look at this. Can you see that face there? You see the face right here in the middle of these trees? It's like a face right here. I mean, there's things in this card you see that, and I think that's, you know, part of the messages coming out of these cards to us. I love this one. She doesn't have any. She has white eyes. I hope y'all are seeing these okay. I have such a tiny screen on my little laptop computer, and that's what I'm using. I love these direction cards. There's like a north, south, east, and west. And they all have cool symbology on them. The book goes into detail with all that. So that's those. I hope Carol get you that deck, girl. You won't be sorry if you ever buy that. Hi, Lisa. How are you, hon? We're discussing EarthCraft Oracle deck, Lisa. Just got on this subject. It wasn't planned, but it's a beautiful deck. And if any, I've altered mine, of course. You know, I had to color my sides with all of the pretty colors that's on the cards. So I made it my own. Made it my own deck. Created my own connection with it. And like I said, I don't be without it now. It's one of my favorites. Gives good messages. How are you, Kindness and Light, Lisa? That's Lisa from Kindness and Light. Anybody that ain't been to her channel, go on over there and sign up. She's doing some story reads that are phenomenal. Little kind of scary story reads. Not real bad, but I'm loving them. I am so loving them. Yeah, Fleck. I mean, it's not a very expensive deck. This I got off Amazon. The first one I got off of the Hay House when they had their 30% off sale. And then the second one I ordered off of Amazon because I missed it after I gave it away. So I had to get it back. I had to get it back. Yes. I totally think this deck is just great. Anybody that wants it. You won't be disappointed. Is it the best top card stock? No, but it's pretty good card stock. It's, it's easy to shuffle for me, and I have arthritis, so I have to, it's a bigger card, but it's softer, it's thinner card stock, so it's not so bulky and hard for me to shuffle. And this one I can side shuffle it easily enough. Some of the cards are really thick and that tears my fingers half off. It feels like it's pulling my fingers out of joint, but this deck here works really well for me. We are all well, Lisa. Lisa, you need a read? I'm just doing practice reads. You want me to pull a oracle card for you? How your week's going to go? Your next week's going to go? I did a few little energy reads. Oh, my camera. Stop, Juliet. Sorry about that, guys. Juliet keeps messing with my camera. How is this week going to go? Okay, Lisa, I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to pull you. Let's do you. You want the tarot or the oracle, or does it matter? I was doing my little Marchetti learner kind of deck that I'm in love with, that I use so well. This deck, I have an extra copy, because if I never have this deck, I'm going to be so sad. I try to baby it as much as possible. Okay. Lisa, how's her week going to go? Lisa, how's her week going to go? Lisa, how's her week going to go? Uh-oh, they're flying, Lisa. Hang on. One more. Don't get crazy. Okay, that one. Okay. Let me get your other cards, Lisa. Sorry. This deck tends to fly on me. I have flyers that get up out of this deck. So I have to chase them all around the room. Okay, I got them. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I have the Page of Swords, which we all know is about air, idea, thoughts. The Magician, Lisa. And then the Three of Wands. And what I'm getting off this is that you're having an idea come to you that's going to make you change your platform. Change your platform. You have a really good idea that has come to you and that you're working with, trying to work out. That's going to make you leave a bunch of stuff behind, like that you were doing on your channel. Like, cutting away what isn't working and implementing what is working for you. I know everybody's loving your story time. I'm loving your story time. Listened to one of them twice, so I got that for you next week. You're going to be making these changes because you're seeing it. You're liking it. I feel like you're so relaxed when you're telling those stories. I am such a horrible storyteller. But you just go at it. Yeah. Yes, you're a good storyteller, Lisa. I say do what you want on your channel. We ain't on here to make $1 million. We're on here just to express ourselves and to share our little what we know and what we do, and try and meet up with people with like minds that might want to do what we do. They want to talk about it. They want to share things, and that's okay. That's what we do. I'm retired. I have a check that comes in. I'm not bound to anybody. So I can do what I want, which is nice for a change. For the first time in my life, I can get on here and talk about tarot, or talk about runes, or talk about life, or talk about whatever. And I don't have to worry about that threatening my job or how it'll impact my job. Lisa, me and you are just doing this for our own expression and for our own growth. Anybody that doesn't know Lisa's channel, it's Kindness and Light. Please go over and check it out. She is so much fun. Love you to death, girl. You're welcome, Lisa. I know people love horror. Hey, I have another horror reader that comes out of England. God, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. He does some really good ones too, but it's like English stories. But yeah, sometimes I listen to them. I know. I like to listen to radio books and stuff when I'm laying down. Helps me relax. You think I need mods? I haven't had that many people in here. How do I make mods, Lisa, on the StreamYard? You know I'm new to this. You turned me onto the StreamYard. You and Thomas turned me onto StreamYard, and I don't know how to assign mods. You guys have taught us so much. I so appreciate you and Thomas. You have no idea. Anybody that's on here just hanging out, let me tell you, this is a good community. I have had nothing but love and support out of this community that I'm in now. The places I've been going, I've felt loved and supported. That was like Joan, Terry does the meditation. Joan does angels. Oh my God, I should be ashamed. I can't remember Joan's channel. I feel horrible. Well, what does this say? Well, you need to do it on YouTube after the airing of this. You have to do the moderators on YouTube. All right, this should be airing right straight to YouTube also. I've got it linked. You trying to behave? Why? What's going on, Fleck? You say you're trying to behave. You mean about buying stuff, or you mean about in general? I know I'm always trying to behave because sometimes I let my mouth overload my hind end. Or as my mom and dad say, you're writing checks your ass can't cash. Joan of Angels. No, it isn't Joan of Angels. Hershey, are you still here? Hershey? Mods. I'm not following. You mean like moderators? I don't know what you mean, babe. Lisa, you're welcome for the read anytime. You know that. This will air on YouTube and you will see a replay on YouTube. Yes. Yes. I have them linked so it goes live on the YouTube also. Kindness and light. Joan the Seeker. Yes. Joan. Oh, thank you for finding that for me, Kindness and Light. I appreciate you. Joan the Seeker. She's so much fun. We love to catch her in the morning time. She's such a sweetheart. Anybody that, yeah, Jane the Seeker. Yes, Hershey. I couldn't think of her channel. I don't know why it just would not come loose. The little man was taking too long to get that in for today. So we have Joan the Seeker and we have Terry at holding, it's holding your space. She does meditations for anybody interested in meditations. I went to the replay chat and see the 3 dots next to the name. Terry's at holding your space. And she does meditations. Jane the Seeker, she does angel card pulls, and she does pulls sometimes where she'll pull two cards and you pull a card for yourself, and she gives you a read. Jane, they're both very uplifting and beautiful people. And then you have Lisa. Lisa's our fun, loving woman. That's on here. And then we have oh my God, stop the madness. I don't know why my camera keeps getting shut off. It's my little joy child, I think, acting up. She's not happy this week, but there's nothing I can do about that. So, yes, and then we have Hershey, the Shadow Reader. She's on the Facebook, and she also has a YouTube page. You can take everywhere meditations. What's that? I must have missed it. Lisa, I was going to the replay chat and see the three dots next to the name. Oh, dang it. If I ever learn how to use this correctly, it's going to be a miracle. Then go into the replay chat and see the three dots next to the name. And so the three dots is where you set up for moderators. You don't set that up with the StreamYard. I know I've done meditations too, but I kind of hang that out. You can't do it from the StreamYard. Okay. You have to do it from the YouTube channel. Kind of some light. Yes, no StreamYard. So do I set that up before I start streaming live? I'm confused. Do I go into my YouTube channel and set it up on my YouTube page about okay. All right, I'll go in there and check that out. I've been lucky. This is only my second live stream, so I've been lucky. I've had nothing but love come in here, so I'm happy with it so far. I will probably have to do that when I start doing something really big. I don't do anything big. I'm just doing my little me right now. So once chat processes for this live, may take 24 hours. Once you see chat is available. Once you see the chat's available on the YouTube, you can put a moderator in. Isn't it too late then? Or you can't set up a moderator until you've got a chat live on there? I'm not understanding. I'm sorry. Once this is downloaded on here, going to the chat, it takes a while. And then you can watch it again and see the chat replay. Okay. And that's when you can set up for moderators. Just got them. $12.50 at Hay House. Thank you. See, Carol? Yay! You're going to love them, Carol. You're going to love them. $12.50. That's 2 cups of coffee if you're getting the smaller cups. Because if you get the big ones nowadays, it's over $12. Too late, no moderators for this live. Yeah, it's okay. Thomas, you'll have to teach me how to do the moderator thing because I don't know how to set that stuff up. Then choose who you want to moderate, then you pay for them. What you talking about, Fleck? You pay for them. Half price, they are having a sale. Oh, wow, that's great. $12.50. Can't go wrong with that. Anybody that wants the EarthCraft, Carol just went on Amazon and got them for $12.50 on sale. Get your deck. I have to go on there and get me an extra one. I always get freaked out when they start running things on sale because then I'm like, oh, are they going to stop making that deck? Click on their circle like carpal C. Oh, Lord, I don't know what that means. It is a wonderful tool, Carol. Me and Hershey both love this little deck, the EarthCraft Oracle. Oh, you got it on Hay House? Or it is a Hay House? I'm confused. Did the Hay House have the sale going? I'm totally lost. I'm a shit host here, right? Oh, you got them at Hay House for $12.50. Yes. I thought I saw a thing from their sale come across the. Oh my God. Why is my camera acting a fool? I'm sorry, my camera keeps shutting off. Yeah. Hershey pairs hers with Hoodoo. Her Hoodoo deck. I use this one a lot just to do pulls, just without pairing it with anything, but it'll pair with anything. I mean, aesthetically, if you like yours to match, it may not look good with every deck, but it'll read with any deck as a oracle. If you're pulling for oracles, gives good messages. What you got, Lisa? You got a question? How do you tell what Rider-Waite and all the other decks? How do you tell what Rider-Waite and all the other decks different? I'm not sure what you're saying, Lisa. How do you tell the Rider-Waite from others? I don't know. This is what I understand about it, if this is what you're saying. They use Rider-Waite as a standard kind of platform of how the tarot should read, the journey of the tarot. And then like this Fifth Element I was talking about before you got here, girl. This is a newer deck. Like, it's different, but it's still different decks. What is the decks? Like this Fifth Spirit Tarot, it still has the Fool and stuff in it, but the artwork's different. So they call these Rider-Waite clones. They don't tell which decks are which. You mean when people are reading with them, like they'll say, I'm using Rider-Waite, but it might be like the Rider-Waite Gold or the Rider-Waite. Yeah. Is that what you're saying? They don't tell which decks are which. Yeah, most of the time they'll just say, I'm using Rider-Waite, but it might be like like I have that. Oh, let me find it here. I just had it out last night. Oh, for Pete's sake, where did I put it? Right there. I only have one Rider-Waite in my collection, Lisa, and I got it. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Apprentice Tarot, it's called. Yeah, like when they're, like this one's the Apprentice Tarot, but it's the Rider-Waite. I get what you're saying. Like, they're, there's a bunch of Rider-Waites, but there's a variety, and they all have different names. This one's the Apprentice Tarot, but it's the Rider-Waite. I get what you're saying. Yeah, they're all basically the same, except for the coloring or how the card's laid out. Like this Apprentice has the it has, I'm gonna get up close so you can see it. It has like the meaning above it. It's for learners. So it's exactly the same picture, but it tells you what it means upright, and then if it's comes out backwards, it tells you what it means in reverse up here. Which I got this because a couple of my little nieces and great niece was wanting to play cards and learn these, and I bought these so they could take them home with them and study with them while they were learning. Right, Fleck. A lot of the as Thomas pointed out, the clone decks, they call them clone Rider-Waites. They have their own idea about what they want their cards to look like, but inside the suits and the court cards and all of that follow the same tradition of the Rider-Waite. Right. Thomas does a side by side where he uses his Radiant Rider as one of the tarot, and then he uses the actual Rider-Waite card also. So you can see the difference in, some of them change the names of the suits, like they'll call them in Thomas's Radiant Rider. Sorry, I couldn't get that out. They use balloons and I can't remember what else, but they use different things in there for the cups, swords, pentacles, and wands. They change the suits around, like to balloons and staffs, and I mean, I've seen them at all different kinds of things. So what's the highest level of what, babe? Lisa, what's the highest level of what? Mine strictly says apprentice because this is the learner deck. I don't have a regular Rider-Waite, Lisa. I can't tell you what. I don't think it has apprentice on it. I just think it says Rider-Waite Smith or whatever on the front. Gilded Tarot Royal. Yes, Lisa, you're my kind of woman. I love Marchetti. I am a Marchetti fan. Ask Hershey. I read my ass off with Marchetti. I have his Oracle of Visions too. This was the deck Hershey bought me. And it's phenomenal, Lisa. It's beautiful as hell and it's phenomenal. Look at the artwork and the colors. It's such a wonderful deck. It gets deep on you, though. It gets really deep on you. And these are some big cards. But, you know, when they're big like this, it's easy to side shuffle them. These cards are deep, though. And they're colorful as heck. And the artwork is so unique for Marchetti. That's why I like him. He makes my psyche go, I don't know, something about his cards. My psyche goes crazy on. But Hershey and the Girls, look at this card. This is one of my favorite cards. Look at this. It's a little snow globe with the horse breaking through the glass and coming out of the snow globe. It's deep. But then this comes with a really nice book, too. It has the big Oracle of Visions. Because I know a lot of Marchetti's decks do not come with books. That Gilded Tarot Royal, yes. That is a beautiful deck. And I have a hard time with the bigger cards, so I was trying to get me a little one, so you know. I got me, let me see where it's at. I don't see. I thought I was ordering like a card size off that site. I mean, it says mini, but I was thinking it meant because his cards are so darn big. And this is what I ended up with. Hang on, let me grab it real fast. It's right here. So look, this is what I ended up with. Now, anybody who has arthritis knows shuffling this small of a deck is just as hard as shuffling too big and too thick of a deck for somebody with arthritis. But this is original. I mean, it is his original deck, so there is that. I can look at it. I just can't shuffle it. It's teeny tiny. And I can barely see the artwork. My eyes are getting so bad. I need to get my eyes checked up. But it has stunning artwork on it. I ain't gonna tell no lies. I love his artwork. No, Fleck, from what I understand, Pamela Smith. That's why it's called the Rider-Waite Smith. Pamela Smith was the artist for the Rider-Waite. It was supposed to be, they're not sure. From everything I read on it, they say that the guys told her what to draw, and then it was her interpretation of what they said they wanted her to draw. But she had also done other tarot decks. Did artwork for other tarot decks. So it is Pamela Smith's artwork. Right, Pamela Coleman Smith. And Arthur Edward Waite commissioned the deck. So this is my little gilded. Yeah, I thought I was getting this size. And it ended up being this size. This little tinky tiny. Which is just as hard for me to shuffle as the great big thicker decks. Live and learn, though. It's a novelty. I keep it for novelty. But I did edge it. There you go. I did edge it. I finished it off to match the backs. The backs are this like jeweled tone. And then I finished off the sides with the jeweled tone teal. So it is a cute deck. I like to look at it, but I can shuffle it like this. I can shuffle it like this. But I don't see the artwork very good on it. I have to have my magnifier to see the artwork really well. I did have this in full size and I gave it to my sister because she fell in love with it. And she does so much stuff for me. I said, here, if you want it, you can have it. Hey, Cheyenne. Sorry, guys. I think they hit my line and knocked me offline. I had to sign all the way back in. Sorry about that. They're still popping off firecrackers here, or fire bombs as I call them. They hit the house with one yesterday, and it sounded. I thought a bomb went off on our house. The whole house, entire house, and the windows shook. So, guys, sorry about that. Technical issues tonight. I apologize. Yeah, I thought my camera got shut off, but then it just totally went blank. My whole screen, everything shut down. And then I was trying to sign back on and it was saying my internet. And then I tried again and then it came on. So I don't know if the kids are hitting lines with the firecrackers. We have old school power line kind of lines for our internet. So when it blows real hard outside, it interferes and all that because we live near airport. We can't get but this one service. We can only get charter service. We can't get anything else. Nothing else comes back here because of the airport. Yes, power blip. It was definitely a power blip. My lights flickered and my computer totally shut down. I'm frozen again. Oh, great. Oh, I'm back. Okay, good. Sorry, guys. So sorry about that. So, we were talking about the Rider-Waite. Did you guys get that? I'm so sorry. It's hard for me to keep up when I keep getting knocked off camera and knocked out of the chat. Oh. Okay, so Cheyenne, what deck do you use? I know I seen you over at Kelly's and you were pulling reads with all of us. What deck do you like to use, Cheyenne? What's your like? I call this one my drawn deck. What did you do to do the edge? I did it with plain old Crayola markers. Just the water-soluble Crayola markers. And you just... Boho Tarot has a really good tutorial on how to edge your decks for anybody. That's where I learned this from, Boho Tarot. The just plain old Crayola markers, cheap little Crayola water markers, and then, you know, you decide what colors you want, or if you want a specific, like this one. This one I have like all different colors. I did rainbow on this one. So you decide what color you want. Boho teaches you, you know, turn the picture out away from you and keep the back toward you, and that keeps from stuff running on the front of your cards. But you just go at it lightly. You just edge it lightly all the way around, and you set it out on a paper. You know, we put out paper towels, and then we just do so many at a time. And then usually by the time you do that first little batch, your top ones are dry. You know, I let them dry for just a little bit, and I pick them up, and yeah, it doesn't take much to edge them. The only deck I had a problem with, and I'm not sure why, was my line strider. And my line strider still bleeds on my hands. I just put it up recently because when I pulled it out to read with it, it left my hands blue. And then I went back and looked at Boho's, and she was talking about take an ink or take an alcohol thing and dab the edges and then, you know, wipe it with. So I did that, and it seemed like it helped. But the other day when I pulled it out, it was still leaving blue. So I'm going to go over it again and see if that helps. But I feel like I maybe ruined that. But it was that really royal blue that it was this. It was this really royal blue like this that I edged the line strider in. Anybody that's familiar with the line strider. This is the line strider. This was one of my very first tarot decks. And it comes with a whopping book. And it has a lot of information. And this is by Celio Thomas. Celio, I think is how they say the name. Ciolo. Siolo Thompson. Let me put that up there. Celio Thompson. It's a beautiful deck. And I read my butt off with it. Let me just show you what I did to it. Let me pull it up out of here. So I edged it in this blue. This like electric royal blue. Because this is the back of the decks. It's blue and white. Funny. And then the cards are like ink drawings. And it has a lot of blue in the deck. So that's why I chose to edge it in the blue. But this is the only deck I've done that I've had problems with. And I don't know if it's the card stock, because this card stock is a little, it's a little more shiny, slicky. It's kind of a plasticky feel to me almost. And I don't know if that's why I'm having issues with the bleeding. But that's the only deck that I've done that I've had any issues with. as far as the Crayola markers. Everything else has been perfect. I've had no major bleed off on it or anything. You do have to let it dry. You do have to let it dry well. I lay mine out on paper towels, and don't be in a rush when you do this. You know, say I'm going to do lay out a deck and say, I'm going to do one batch and then I'm going to go do something else. And then when you come back, you can pick those up. You know they'll be good and dry. And don't press too hard because these cards are sharp. If you've got a little thin deck, the cards are really sharp and they will cut the markers. So go at it with a light hand, but they work wonderful. This is one of the other decks. And I use these inks. I use these, Boho introduced them on hers. This is a deck that I did it's like a copper on the sides because this is the back of the deck. And that's what I did with my sides. So it complements the back. I have to have my decks fully dressed. But this is like another Marchetti. This is another Marchetti kind of deck here, right here. But I love it now that I edged the deck. Now that I put its clothes all on it. It's got it totally dressed. You love to learn your history minor. I never did that well in history. I love to, I watch all of the YouTube things on history channels and archaeology and all that, but I get bored about some stuff, like colonial history. I can't do it. I just can't. It's too boring. I get lost. I'm like thinking of 20 other things. Marseilles predate the, yes, Marseilles actually do. The Marseille decks actually do predate. Hershey likes Marseille decks. I don't like Marseille decks, but I am an intuitive reader and I'm not stimulated by them. It's like, I like the stuff that has pictures, that has bold artwork, or that has busy artwork. Seems to stimulate my psyche and get my intuitive hits going. No, Fleck, Rider-Waite-Smith wasn't the first. The actual first was, well, they say it was Marseille. I honestly think it was actually the Gypsy decks. I honestly think it was the Gypsy decks, and then Marseille, I think, came off of the Gypsy decks. But the Gypsy decks are not a complete, like the Marseille and like the tarot we know today. I think those were like invented around 16 something. We just talked about this, Hershey. What year was they invented? Because we were thinking it was it 16th century or 17th century? I can't remember. 18 something I thought was the first deck. I think Hershey must have left. Maybe not. Hershey, if you're there, we're asking you about, we were discussing this the other day about what year the tarot as we know it was invented. And I keep thinking it was like 18 something. And it was like invented to read for some king or something like that. Which was interesting. I didn't know all that. I never got that deep into it. I looked into it after Hershey and somebody else had said that. Then I kind of looked into it and was reading about it a little bit. 1500s, the Marseille, right. I couldn't remember the exact time, Thomas. That might have been me and you and Hershey that was discussing that. But yeah, the Marseille is real pippy, and I'm not a big pip deck girl. I like the artwork, so I sometimes actually read better with something like this than I do an actual tarot deck. Depends on my mood and depends on what I'm reading about. Energy reads I can usually do pretty good off of a regular deck, and love reads I do okay with. Oh, what is this? The earliest Mamluk deck dates to the 12th and 13th centuries. Yeah. Comes from the modern day Middle East and Northern Africa. Yeah, now the Mamluk, isn't that what they became known as, the gypsy decks? I have a little gypsy deck. I have a little gypsy deck. Where did I put it? The little gypsy deck. Oh, here. Right here in front of me. I do okay with the gypsy deck. I have a little gypsy deck here. It's some people like gypsy decks, some people don't. There's actually several different forms of the gypsy decks. This one I have is a Sibylla della it's Zingara. That's the other side of it. Gypsy Oracle cards. Because these tend to me to read more like a Lenormand. These little gypsy decks do. For me, anyway. I never had anybody that really showed me how to read these. I was given this one as a gift, and I just could read my little butt off with it. It reads kind of like a Lenormand to me. It's interesting all the different kinds of decks they have. Like, I have some of the Lenormand because I read my butt off with the Lenormand too. And I have the Marchetti's Reverie deck. And I love that deck. And I also have a couple more Lenormands that I'm not that crazy about. So I'm not even going to discuss those, but I'll show them to you someday. Someday I'll just get all my Lenormand decks. I just wanted to show you the little gypsy deck. And it does come with a little book. Hershey bought me these, I think, for my birthday one year. And I treasure them. They are, and I have edged them, if you noticed. Even these little decks like this, I like to edge. I try to finish off my decks. I edge them with kind of a bronze to go with the aesthetic of the card. And it does have this kind of a bronzy back. So oh, Fleck, you're going to edge cards all night. It doesn't take that long. And like I said, if you kind of set yourself up, like I just have my markers in that big basket, and I put my paper towels down, and I don't throw them away. I have the same paper towels I've been using with all my decks, because you might get a little marker spot here or there, but it dries out. So I just fold out my paper towels and I edge them and I lay them down. I do until I fill my paper towels up, and then I walk away and do something else and let them dry. And then Google image of the Mamluk deck to see how beautiful they are, and they compare that to the Marseille. I honestly have never seen that, but I'm not a big Marseille person, but I'm going to look at it when I get off here just because I'm nosy. The Mamluk, Mamluk, Mamluk. Hershey's probably already looking for that deck. She does like Marseille decks. Hershey likes Pip Marseille kind of decks. Yes, it was a nice gift. My nieces and nephews and my sisters all spoil me with card decks. And I have to say, I know I have a lot. I have around 140 decks. Yeah, I have around 140 decks. And for the most part, a lot of them have been gifts for me. Been gifts for me are things that I lucked onto when I was out. Like me, when Hershey lived near me, we would go a lot to the, there's a couple of the tarot shops that's not that far. If we got sick of being in the house, we'd set a day and we'd go out and just have a coffee and go to the tarot shops. And the one that we like to go to, I can't remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. It's in St. Louis, and it's you can actually go in and they have the cards in a big thing, but they have decks that are open that you can pull out and feel the card stock and look at each card. And I love that because there's so many times that I think I'm going to like something, and then when I get it, I don't like it because of the texture of the card, or because the card stock's too thick and too hard to shuffle, or a million reasons. This shop is phenomenal because what they have there, they have like one deck open, and anybody can pull it out. You can shuffle it. You can look at it. You can look at every picture. They encourage that. They encourage you to see if you can shuffle it okay. And what is the name of that shop, Hershey? Darn it. I'm horrible. I'm horrible with names on stuff anymore. When Hershey gets back on here, she'll let us know. Not Sunshine Daydream. That's another one of the shops that we go to, but they don't have the cards on display. This one that I'm thinking of, it has like this big apothecary cabinet, and they have the cards set up on the shelves in there, and then it, the very first deck is sitting there, and it's, it says sample, and you can open the card, you can open the box, and you can pull the cards out and play with them and shuffle them and look and see if you like the deck or not. See if you like the feel of the deck. Not nosy, but curious. Oh, I'm nosy about learning stuff sometimes. If it's something I want to know, I have to know it. I have to see it. I have to look it up. I think it's because I'm nosy with that. Oh no, that's only in museums. You can't get the Mamluk. I just mentioned it because it inspired the Marseille, is why. There is a place where Hershey got some, a website that has like reprints of antique kind of decks. I mean, some of them seemed a little pricey to me. I'm not a Marseille girl, so I'm not going to buy any of them. But I did see one in there that was a beautiful deck. It was like so intricately, had so many colors on it. I was like, I might buy that one. But, I seen that recently on the Amazon. So I'm glad I didn't spend a lot of money on it if it's on the Amazon now. I think all the decks are interesting. I think they all kind of have their own personalities. They all kind of have their own Hershey and me name are some of our decks. The Witch Sisters that I have, you know, I call them the Witch. It's the Season of the Witch, which is, you can get on Amazon. It's not like they're expensive or anything. But the first one that we got, the Semaine, I named it Scarlet because she's a bitch. She really is. She hates my guts. She loves Hershey. And she read herself silly for Hershey. And when I try to read with her, she's just mean to me. Outright mean to me. But Hershey laughs about that. Scarlet will scream for Hershey. She don't like me playing with her. Sometimes when I play with her, she explodes all over the floor. Like she'll be saying, "Put me down. I didn't give you permission to touch me." Oh, Cheyenne, you started a new YouTube page? Yay! I'll have to go check that out, Cheyenne. Yes, I didn't realize that, Cheyenne. I'm going to go check your page out. When I'm done with this, I'll wind it back and get your stuff off of it and sign up. We all try to support each other on here, and that's what I like about this environment. Oh my God. Have I really gone this long? Almost 2 hours? All right. I'm going to close it down. I didn't mean to keep you guys so late, but I'm so grateful that you came. And I'm going to be doing more things on here. I've got to get myself together and figure out if you guys want to put any comments in my thing or what you'd like to see or what you'd like to talk about. I would. Wow, I must sub this morning. Are you a substitute teacher? Is that what that means? I didn't realize I was on here. It's 10:02 at night. I apologize. I didn't mean to keep everybody so late, but I do appreciate y'all coming in and hanging with me and just chatting. And I learned something from you guys every day. And I love this experience of sharing and learning from each other and lifting each other up and supporting each other in our quest to do us, to be us, to bring light and love to the world, share our little happiness. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So I'm going to say good night, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please come back. Please like and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love and light, everybody.